Hey folks, welcome back to Carl's Off the Grid. For those of you who have been wondering where I have been, I was bitten by the COVID bug and had some other health issues going on in the family, and two of my nieces got married. So we were able to enjoy their weddings, and so yeah, life goes on. This week we're back finally at the cabin, and if you can't tell behind me, we finally got rid of those extra beds, put them up in the lofts for when we have guests come over, and we're finally going to furnish the cabin. I don't want to let too much out of the bag yet, but stick with me. If you are trying to furnish a tiny home or a tiny cabin, or even just want to utilize your storage capacity to your best ability, you're going to want to watch this week's Carl's Off the Grid. Stay tuned. We're going to go outside and start unloading the truck and get everything ready for today's video. Let's go ahead and we'll start assembly of this. We've got the two beds cleared out of here that were just stacked in this corner of the living room, and we're going to start opening up some of these hardware packages and getting things ready. We brought in box number 1 first, and then out on the porch we've got box number 2, if you can see it all kind of assembled and laying in pieces on the porch. So let's get at her. So basically we chose IKEA because they have some pretty good storage units and furniture for like college students or people who are living in tiny spaces, and their products are pretty affordable. On this little sofa bed that we picked up, pretty much all the hardware comes with the bed as well as all the tools to go ahead and assemble it. So I'm just going to show you the process that we're going through here to do the assembly with all the hardware that's provided. In that first scene you could see it comes with 3 metal screws that screw into metal grommets. That's gonna give it more strength and stability. And this brace that I'm putting in right now, these cross braces are pretty much just to hold a future little white panel that I'll show you later on in the video that is gonna provide for some hidden storage that's underneath the couch itself. Now this bracket that I'm looking at right now, trying to kind of figure out which direction it goes in. There is a right and wrong way, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You just look at the way that the holes line up, and then again take the hardware that they give you as well as the Allen wrench that they give you, and just go ahead and snug things up. And you're not going to want to tighten it too overly tight. We found that usually just as long as you can kind of get it hand tight and then give it a little extra snug, that's usually about the limit on these set screws that are here. And so we did the same thing on both sides, and then now the next step is going to be installing these little plastic pieces that are going to hold the sides of the couch on. And with the plastic, you don't want to tighten these screws in too dreadfully tight. I just went and snugged it up until it felt a little bit snug, and then I did not give it any additional tweaking because I didn't want to break this plastic. But here again, at the very end of the video, when I get done installing these plastic pieces on both sides of this couch, I'll show you how the ends of the couch just kind of slide into those brackets and really secure things up and make the side pieces be very stable on this couch. So this bracket right here, this is going to be a steel bracket that controls the hinges when they go up and down. I couldn't get the Allen wrench provided in there, so I just put it hand tight at this section of the build. And then later on, I do come back and I retighten these. As you can see, everything's going together pretty quick. This is going to be the main base of the cabin, or of the couch that everybody's going to sit on. The part that I just grabbed here, and I'm going to be screwing on, there's only 3 screws that hold it, but this is just going to be the piece that goes behind your feet when you're sitting down. And these brackets that they give it just provide it with enough support that it really stables the couch up. And then my wife joined in here. We're going to go ahead and take the first piece that we got together, and we are going to slide it onto those 4 screws that I just installed on the bottom side of the cushion. And then once it slides into those grooves that you can see where the set screw is right now, we're just going to snug it up again. This one you can get a little bit tighter because it is a metal grommet that's in there behind the screw that we're tightening in. And we're going to do that again on both sides. It's a little tight squeeze with that spring there, but everything turned out to be just fine by going ahead and sneaking that long Allen wrench in there. And here again, like I mentioned just previously, I'm going to go ahead and tighten up this side. And then if you notice, if you look towards the bottom of the middle of the screen, you can see that white plastic strap that's on there. That is actually holding the spring tight. You do not want to cut that strap until the appropriate time. If you do, those 2 pieces of couch that we just joined together come apart and it becomes a real mess. So leave that alone, tighten everything up around it, and you should be fine. And then right now, I'm just simply installing the provided legs that they give us. Because I am on a bamboo floor, I didn't want to take any chances of scratching the flooring. So we thought, oh, it'd be great that we just attach these plastic legs that they give us. That way we don't have to worry about it scratching any of our flooring. And then here we're going to take this whole piece that we just assembled, and we're going to stand it up on end. Right here we're just kind of thinking which way is going to be the best way to get at those plastic straps, and we decided to stand it back up again, and we are going to excuse me, we're going to cut those straps right now with a little bit sharper knife that I have. Okay, with that done and that plastic finally removed, we are going to go ahead and open up the couch. We'll expose the storage side of it, and then on the back side of the storage unit is where the back piece mounts. And this just simply slides down on some rivets or set screws that they already have installed from the factory, and we'll lift up the back here. And we'll go ahead and just simply install one last screw that secures everything into place. And with this, it pretty much screwed in almost the whole way by hand, but we did use the Allen wrench again to snug it up firmly so that nothing would move. And there you go. There's that storage space. And earlier I talked about how those wooden cross supports were needed in the end of the build. And this is the time that they're needed. We go ahead and just put in a really light piece of wood that they give us that will act as the base of that storage part of the couch. And then I am just going to go ahead and then put these side pieces on that just slide onto those plastic pieces that I talked about earlier in the build. They're kind of a beveled piece, and I did that on both sides. I just showed one side here in the video, but when you push down on them, they go ahead and you can feel everything snap into position. And then here I'm just showing, we're going to have tons of space to store extra pillows, extra linen, and blankets, towels, anything that we basically have that you want out of the way where nobody can see it, and it all just tucks away perfect. Look at that. Nothing is pinching or binding. I go ahead and follow up by putting the back cushions on the couch, and it's starting to take shape now. All right, guys, we are so excited to have our living area in the cabin coming along for a long time. I think we've waited about a year for this couch. What, you think it was more than that?
It was well over a year.
Okay, so we waited well over a year for this couch. We had a couple other couches in mind, but this is the one that we ended up making up our mind and deciding that we wanted. But I just wanted to show you the whole living area first. In our kitchen, this is going to be a little bit of a review for you guys that are new to the channel. Not that we're huge IKEA advocates. We don't receive any endorsements from them or anything. But for tiny spaces, they make life so nice. We have this table that actually folds out. Right now we already have it halfway out, but this leaf comes out, and then there's a set of legs that come out, and it extends the eating area. We do have a total of, I think, 8 chairs, so we can have the whole family around here if they choose to come up to celebrate with us or to camp with us or whatever. But I'm going to put this right back down for now. I think what we're going to do, we may eventually put this underneath the TV and then have another seat here, but we're debating that. That all depends on what the wife decides. She's excellent at interior decorating. And then the featured item that we have is this couch. And the reason we chose this couch, it's got so many great purposes to it. It's not just it just doesn't look nice for sitting, but it is so functional. If you take these cushions all off, and I'm just going to set them down on the floor here to the side, but this is the main reason why we chose this couch. When you are in a tiny cabin situation, you got to make the most of all your space. And I've got elderly parents, and for those of you that watch my channel on a regular basis, I have an elderly YouTuber named Wandering Wiley that comes over to visit once in a while. And this will probably end up being his bed. Sorry, Wiley. Wiley's actually a little bit younger than I am. But this opens up to where it has great storage space underneath. If you didn't know it was here, if you've never seen a couch before, you'd never know that it's here. If you do have company, their luggage can go underneath here. Right now, we're just utilizing it to put a couple extra pillows in here. We'll put blankets in here, linen and stuff in here for the bed. And then this folds down, and we actually tried this out at the store. And when you get it all folded down, it goes into a queen-size bed. And what a great way to be able to have extra space for your guests. And then it exposes an outlet that I put in behind here. One of my friends that I was thinking of, he has a CPAP machine, and that's perfect. Now that outlet is kind of hidden. If he wants to bring in his equipment, plug it in so that he can breathe while he's sleeping. He's got an outlet right there. This thing is just so functional. I was just thrilled with it. And you can see it only takes a matter of, a couple of 2-3 seconds to transform it right back into a couch again. So, yeah, we're pretty excited. Let me know what you think in the comments section. What do you think, hon? You like it?
I like it a lot.
And everything's starting to come together. This is finally starting to feel like home here rather than just a cabin with stacked up. What we had stacked up beds before is what we were sitting on here in the first floor. So I think we're getting closer to getting the living area done here. And I'm grateful that this finally came in. It really makes the place come together, makes it feel homely, and then homey.
Homey. It was very homely with all the beds, but now it's homey.
But yeah, we're feeling great and feel good about this. And once I start feeling a little bit better health-wise, I look forward to getting up here. And this gives me a bit more incentive I still have to case out the windows. I still have to finish the 2 upper lofts here yet. And then we were kind of hemming and hawing on whether we wanted to put that bathhouse in yet this year. This summer's flying by quick. I'm not sure if we'll get the bathhouse in or not. We're going to try to get it up before snowfall.
Supplies are just so expensive, and
yeah,
it kind of isn't making sense this year yet.
Yep, so that might be pushed off until next spring. But we're thrilled to have a living space. I hope these ideas help you guys. If you have tiny cabins or just are looking for a nice sofa or something to be able to have to save you on space and to also give you a little bit of comfort. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to leave a link for this sofa in the description because it simply comes from IKEA. If you go to IKEA, they've got millions of sofas like this, or trillions, or quadzillions maybe?
I think maybe 40.
Okay, they have several different versions of sofas that have these hiding spaces, as I like to say, or practical spaces where you can store your stuff in. And yeah, just go to their store or go to their website and take a browse around. They've got a ton of different things that you may be interested in. And because this isn't paid, you know, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not going to leave a link or anything to it. If you're interested, hopefully this will help you out and it'll at least give you some direction as to which way you want to go. So, all right. I think we're going to take a quick walk before the rain comes.
Too late.
Too late? It's already raining?
Yeah, it's raining pretty hard.
All right. So, anyways, maybe we'll leave you with a couple closing pictures or a video of what's going on around the cabin before we end this one out. But thank you so much for supporting the channel. And thanks for your patience as I've been going through my illness. I'm glad to have you guys still around and look forward to making a few more videos yet before I'm all done. We'll catch you next time on Carl's Off the Grid.